This is a Mitsubishi Solution 4, aka the rustiest Evolution 8 that I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Anyway, the rust is gone just about, and we've managed to prime all of this in the previous episodes, which I'll leave a link in the description. Now, do get us on social media, Instagram and Facebook. I will link them down below, and do please subscribe and like the video and comment as well. It does really help us out. Anyway, all that's out of the way. Now, you'll see that there is actually no windscreen in this car, and that's because we've got it removed. I will roll that footage first because the windscreen is actually over there and we've uncovered a little bit more rust. So I'll roll the footage first and then I'll bring you back here and update you on what we're going to do next. Wait, before we do get started, I do want to mention Yorkshire Car Restoration, Cars and Coffee at the Black Bull Inn in Hatfield, Doncaster. Now, I have started doing all of this, but you'll have to wait to see that, and the chassis rails are on as well, but you'll have to wait to see that as well. So Yorkshire Car Restoration, Cars and Coffee, our first ever event. It's a free event. I'll leave the ticket link in the description. Go get yourself a ticket. Like I say, they are free. It's just so we can account for the amount of people coming and all that good stuff. And yeah, our first ever event. If you are free on the 4th, do come down, Black Bull Inn. And yeah, we'll talk all things cars, and hopefully the Evo will be there finished as well. Right, so Motorway Windscreens have done a fantastic job of removing this in one piece and not cracking it. Now, I know there was a lot of built-up sealant on the edges, and Windscreen Ryan, so there's a lot of Ryans going on. Windscreen Ryan did a fantastic job of all this, and the company actually said that they're going to donate the money that this costs to charity, which is absolutely amazing. Do check them out. I'll leave a link in the description below of their Instagram, Facebook, and website as well. They're local to us and they're family run, so fantastic. So, having said that, there's more rust down here, unfortunately. I did expect this in the corner because you could see this, but I didn't expect this here, and that over there. But thankfully, this is actually quite simple, so we should be able to do this without too much of an issue. So this video, I'm going to first jump on the chassis rails. So I want to get the inside of the chassis rails coated with some nice primer to make sure they don't rust again, because they seem to rust from the inside out. So I'm going to coat them first, scotch them down, get them coated so they can be drying, and then I can start doing some other stuff on the car. I think I've got to strip the car, we've got to rub the car down, we've got to prep everything. So basically this video is going to be a lot of bits and bobs, and then hopefully we're also going to get the chassis rails in, which is a big task because this video goes live this weekend and it's Thursday. Let's get started. Right, so we've prepped all the inside of these chassis rails. Now, this is a thick layer of primer that's on here, but I want to put another layer on there just to protect it and make sure it doesn't rust from the inside out. Now, I've even done this centre bar. I drilled a couple of holes in here because this actually slips over these two chassis rails. So these go on first, then this goes over the top. So that's done. Now that's scotched, I can get some epoxy primer in there, but I've also taped up this edge. Now, this edge where you can see the yellow tape, that's what I'm going to spot weld to, or plug weld to. Now, the holes are already in the car, so I can jump into the boot and actually get all of this plug welded. Now, once I put some epoxy primer on the inside of these, just to give an extra layer of protection, I can take this tape off and then I can spray the bare metal where I'm going to weld with some weld-through primer, and then it's all nice and protected. Bada bing, bada boom. So let's get some paper down and let's get these primed. Before we do go any further, a package has just arrived from Bunker.
So Ryan...
Yeah, I've lost the instructions.
He's lost the instructions. So, Ryan and Richard have got this leg and this leg back to front.
This is meant to be satisfying bit. As you can see, we've not used instructions, and this stuff is really easy to put together once we actually got there. Now we'll start here. As you can see, in this cupboard, look at how majestic that looks. Now we've still got the shelves to put in there, but we'll do that once it's in. These are absolutely amazing. They're still locked, so we need to unlock them with these keys. But these actually go up here, and you've got a nice storage area just above you. And you've got a nice worktop as well. All of these containers down here, all of this storage, love it. Also, this, as you can see, absolutely majestic. I can do my editing on here. You can put some power in there. You can do whatever you want. You've got USB ports. You can flick it on and off. Bada bing, bada boom. Thank you so much, Bunker, for all the love and support. And as you can see, we've also got this nice, lovely chair, which is actually tool storage area. You can wheel it to your situation that you're doing on your car, and you can put all your tools in there, put all your bits in there. Bada bing, bada boom.
Well made as well. This bench also goes up and down for people as tall as Ryan and for people as short as me.
Right, we are making some good progress now with 600 grit, everything except for up here and the roof, and obviously the other wings and body kit and all that sort of stuff. But that's the main body shell done. Looking nice and majestic. Yeah, so that's that sorted. Now, the chassis rails, which are down there staring at me in the face, are actually dry, so we can actually get them on. So I'm going to take the car up, and then we can offer them in, do any amendments that we need to do, because I think there's a little bit of steel in the way that I need to, you know, where the spot welds are, I need to kind of grind that back. But we're going to offer them up and hopefully get welded in finally. I recorded a whole segment and realised my fly was down, so I'm going to have to redo it. These chassis rails are an absolute pain. It's not a case of just literally offering the chassis rails up, checking the dimensions, welding them on, bada bing, bada boom. No, because there's so many contact points on these rails that you need to forcefully make sure that the rail is in contact with the floor, with the side section, with this section here as well. And yeah, so because there's so many contact points, you need to make sure that the rail is butt up against the car. There can't be a gap of like that between the rail. It needs 100% contact. Contact is good. So I used my Tron gauge I tried to use my tram gauge the best I could. I did a lot of measuring off camera as well, just to make sure these rails were in the right place. Luckily, the rods that I used were perfect for the holes down here, or the holes here. But it was just the issue of the oblong holes, which are here, which I have no idea why they use oblong holes, but there you go. That's a different story. So I was able to measure, and I was able to make sure that the rails are in the right place. So I've got a couple of welds to do underneath here, and then that should be all of the welding underneath the car, except for the centre bar, which I need to put on as well, which is over there. So I need to put the centre bar on. I'll tack it from the underside, then I'll weld everything from inside. I'll get the floor pan sections folded back down because I won't need those up anymore. And yeah, hopefully, finally get all of the welding done on this car, on this absolute atrocious Evo, which is becoming less atrocious. So yeah, let's go. Let's get that done because I need to prime and dinitrol as well. Let's go. That literally felt like an absolute welding marathon. Like I mentioned earlier, it's all about trying to make sure that the panels are butt up against each other before you're welding. But the penetration is good on the actual chassis itself when I've been welding from the top down. So that's good. That means it's really linked both of them together, which I'm happy about. I've got the floors both folded down, which now looks weird because it's been folded up for so long. Well, I say so long, about 2 months maybe, something like that. But it's nice to finally get those chassis rails in. And it's a big relief actually to get them in. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean the welds down, which go sort of across the sides, because I do have to make the upstand angle thing that's in there. So I've got that to do. Once I've done that, I'll clean all the welds down, and then hopefully we can get some primer on all of the welds inside here, on the floors down there and underneath. So I need to scotch all the stuff down as well, but I can get hopefully everything in primer. Thank goodness that's done. Holy crap. That took longer than expected, like things normally do. That's all that inside welded. The chassis rails are on. I've spent all day welding. Anyway, that's a different story. Now that that's done, thank goodness for that. I want to take the car up. I've got a little tiny panel to make on the underside, and then I can clean all the welds up that I need. So I'll probably leave most of them there just for strength and stuff, and it's going to be unsealed anyway. And then I'll clean them up, like I say, and then we'll get some nice etch primer on there, and hopefully get some Dinatrol on. I mean, it is knocking on. Don't know what time it is. It's knocking on now, so I do want to go to bed at some point today. So I'm going to get it done and get it sorted, and yeah, get it up undercoated. Well, I cannot tell you how glad I am to actually get those chassis rails on and get them sorted and get them primed. So there's literally no more rust on this car, which is absolutely fantastic. And we can start building this car back up, which is like that must be some sort of massive milestone. The running gear is already prepped and ready to go on. It has been cleaned by the ice blasters, so that's all sorted. So that can go back on, and we can start getting parts off of the floor and out of storage and back onto the car, which is a big thing. So do like and subscribe, get us on Instagram, Facebook, and all that good stuff. Yeah, we'll catch you in the next episode of the rusty Mitsubishi Evo 4 8.